Needless to say, that is the only logical course of action. Excuse me, are you even listening?
Sorry, I got distracted and missed the last part. Something about your plan to restore House Nouvelle?
That was where the conversation started. Clearly you have not listened to a single word I've said. Creating new magic, charting unknown sorcery waters. Therein lies the means to make my dream a reality. To that end, I have decided that you will make a most fitting test subject for my research.
No thanks.
What reason could you possibly have to refuse? Do you not want the honor of helping House Nouvelle regain its former glory?
I don't mind lending a hand, but I'm not so keen on being a test subject. You don't even know what'll happen. Wouldn't it make sense to experiment on yourself first?
Huh, a rather astute deduction for one such as yourself. However, there is one critical flaw in your reasoning. Were I to do as you propose, I would be unable to properly observe the results with my own eyes.
Well then, you'll just have to be patient until someone volunteers. We'd have a big problem on our hands if something happened to me before the next battle, right? Actually, that probably goes for everyone.
I suppose you are correct. But then, my research has reached an impasse.
I guess so. Okay, how about this? Since we're at war, why not try and distinguish yourself in battle? You could still conduct your research at the same time. Combat's more my wheelhouse anyway. In fact, we could even start right now with some training. What do you say?
I respectfully decline. While I am not entirely opposed to the idea of military prestige, I am unable to accompany you at this time. Training at night will surely suffice.
At night? But you won't have enough time if you don't train during the day. You're not planning on pulling all-nighters, are you?
Oh, please! I am not that foolish. I simply do not wish to train at this very moment.
If you work out at night, that means you're going to bed right after. That's going to reduce the quality of your sleep. You'll wake up sluggish the next morning, which will drag you down all day. It'll turn into a vicious cycle. See what I mean?
My! I never expected you to put forth such an eloquent counter-argument. Be that as it may, I have my reasons. Reasons that I, unfortunately, cannot ignore. Nevertheless, I shall succeed in all my endeavors, be they magical or military, and I shall do it all in my own way.
Constance, is that you? I don't think I've ever seen you train during the day.
Good day to you, though I fear my presence is as a storm cloud in an otherwise clear sky. My sincerest apologies for subjecting you to this wretched sight. I shall vacate the premises at once to spare you any further distress.
No, wait, don't go. Since you're here, why don't we train together? You're here because you're trying to achieve your dream, right?
Though it pains me to deny such kind words, of which I am truly unworthy. I am afraid my dream will likely never come to pass. This pathetic excuse for athleticism you see before you is nothing but a futile attempt to strengthen my frail body and stave off death. How could I possibly ask an exemplary warrior such as yourself to squander your time with one such as I?
Training so you don't die is as good a reason as any. I'd say that's why I'm doing it too. See? Our goals are the same, so there's no reason not to work together.
Well, since you have given it much more consideration than I deserve.
Phew, what a workout. I'm beat.
To think my other side would be able to keep up with such rigorous training.
You okay, Constance?
Never better. In fact, I am just getting started. Are you leaving so soon?
You're still raring to go? You're weirdly energetic all of a sudden.
I surprise even myself sometimes. Making my dreams a reality takes effort, you know. I cannot allow something so trifling as exhaustion to stand in my way. Who knows how long things would take if I did? Therefore, I shall spare no opportunity to train today. And tomorrow, all of Fodlan will behold my military prowess.
That's all well and good, but then why didn't you want to train before?
I told you there were extenuating circumstances. Had I known you would respond in such a manner, I would have asked for your assistance much earlier. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea!
I've got a bad feeling about this.
We can train together and conduct magical experiments at the same time! You see, I've invented this particular spell that imbues the palms with a suction power that makes dropping one's weapon a hindrance of the past.
I'm gonna go ahead and respectfully decline, on behalf of everyone.
You refuse? Why, that is rather disappointing. Very well then, let us proceed with the training.
One side has an overabundance of confidence, while the other clearly has some deep-seated issues. Maybe the two balance each other out.
What are you blathering on about? Let us be on with it! Needless to say, that is the only logical course of action. Excuse me, are you even listening?
Yeah, I totally am. You're gonna save this prince who's being held captive by some evil cult of sorcerers in order to restore House Nouvelle?
That is not even remotely close to what I said. Where has your mind been this whole time? Creating new magic, charting unknown sorcery waters. Therein lies the means to make my dream a reality. To that end, I have decided that you will make a most fitting test subject for my research.
No thanks.
What reason could you possibly have to refuse? Do you not want the honor of helping House Nouvelle regain its former glory?
I don't mind lending a hand, but I'm not so keen on being a test subject. You don't even know what'll happen. Wouldn't it make sense to experiment on yourself first?
Huh. A rather astute deduction for one such as yourself. However, there is one critical flaw in your reasoning. Were I to do as you propose, I would be unable to properly observe the results with my own eyes.
Well then, you'll just have to be patient until someone volunteers. We'd have a big problem on our hands if something happened to me before the next battle, right? Actually, that probably goes for everyone.
I suppose you are correct. But then, my research has reached an impasse.
I guess so. Okay, how about this? Since we're at war, why not try and distinguish yourself in battle? You could still conduct your research at the same time. Combat's more my wheelhouse anyway. In fact, we could even start right now with some training. What do you say?
I respectfully decline. While I am not entirely opposed to the idea of military prestige, I am unable to accompany you at this time. Training at night will surely suffice.
At night? But you won't have enough time if you don't train during the day. You're not planning on pulling all-nighters, are you?
Oh, please! I am not that foolish! I simply do not wish to train at this very moment.
All right, I'm not gonna twist your arm. But I'm heading over to the training grounds, so feel free to come by if you change your mind.
Very well. However, there are extenuating circumstances that prevent me from doing so. Nevertheless, I shall succeed in all my endeavors, be they magical or military, and I shall do it all in my own way.
Constance, is that you? I don't think I've ever seen you train during the day.
Good day to you, though I fear my presence is as a storm cloud in an otherwise clear sky. My sincerest apologies for subjecting you to this wretched sight. I shall vacate the premises at once to spare you any further distress.
No, wait, don't go. Since you're here, why don't we train together? You're here because you're trying to achieve your dream, right?
Though it pains me to deny such kind words, of which I am truly unworthy. I am afraid my dream will likely never come to pass. This pathetic excuse for athleticism you see before you is nothing but a futile attempt to strengthen my frail body and stave off death. How could I possibly ask an exemplary warrior such as yourself to squander your time with one such as I?
Training so you don't die is as good a reason as any. I'd say that's why I'm doing it too. See? Our goals are the same, so there's no reason not to work together.
Well, since you have given it much more consideration than I deserve,
What a workout! I'm beat.
to think my other side would be able to keep up with such rigorous training.
You okay, Constance?
Never better. In fact, I am just getting started. Are you leaving so soon?
All right, let's go again. But it's strange how you're suddenly so bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
I surprise even myself sometimes. Making my dreams a reality takes effort, you know. I cannot allow something so trifling as exhaustion to stand in my way. Who knows how long things would take if I did? Therefore, I shall spare no opportunity to train today. And tomorrow, all of Fodlan will behold my military prowess.
That's all well and good. But then why didn't you want to train before?
I told you there were extenuating circumstances. Had I known you would respond in such a manner, I would have asked for your assistance much earlier. Oh, I just had a brilliant idea!
I've got a bad feeling about this.
We can train together and conduct magical experiments at the same time! You see, I've invented this particular spell that imbues the palms with a suction power that makes dropping one's weapon a hindrance of the past.
Sure, why not? I'll try anything once. Go for it.
Splendid! Let us begin, shall we?
One side has an overabundance of confidence, while the other is clearly lacking it. Maybe the two balance each other out.
What are you blathering on about? Let us be on with it! Once again, I have accomplished a most triumphant feat. Behold, my awe-inspiring talent! From these hands is new magic born. But I mustn't rest on my laurels quite yet. Nay, I must aim for ever more spectacular heights!
Hey, Constance, you got a second?
Claude, of all people, you may enter.
Up to some of your old experiments, huh? Perfect timing.
How dare you speak of me as though I am some non-entity to be slotted into your schedule?
Whoa, okay. Hang on. I just heard you were researching some interesting magic.
Ha ha ha! You have heard correctly! I have created a new spell which can affect both the style and length of one's hair! There is no questioning, this heralds a revolution that will sweep all of Bodlin!
Revolutions aside, that sounds like an incredible spell. Care to give me a little demonstration? This is great. If I can change my hairstyle at will, I'll be able to slip out of all kinds of sticky situations.
Of course! And you shall be my first test subject.
Your first? Hold on. This idea's not sounding quite so clever anymore.
Take this!
Did it work?
Beyond my wildest imaginings! Why, your hair is now more resplendent than ever!
I appreciate the sentiment, but I still don't know... Wait, why is my head hard? Ow! It's so sharp it hurt my hand! I really don't think this hairstyle's gonna catch on. I look like an angry cat that fell into a bathtub.
And now you know what it means to be ahead of your time. Unconventional though it may be, your hairstyle is objectively flawless.
This isn't exactly ideal for keeping a low profile. I couldn't even wear a hat without tearing right through the thing.
Inconceivable! You are given the rare honor of being the subject of my magic, yet all you can think to do is whinge and complain. If that is to be your response, why did you rush to my side the moment I completed the experiment?
Yeah, I guess things turned out a bit differently than I'd been led to believe. Still, it is some pretty incredible magic. I doubt anyone else could even come close.
You sound as though you're consoling me, yet I have not failed in the slightest.
No, I'm not calling it a failure per se. It's just that the applications might be rather,
You will come to rue those words. So, So, you've arrived, Claude. I pray you are ready.
Okay, no need to start off with a bunch of yelling. And, what should I be ready for, exactly?
The day has finally come. The day for you to be thunderstruck by the selfsame magic you once so viciously mocked.
The magic? The magic. Oh, you mean that hair-raising one you used on me.
No, that is not the purpose. It is meant for changing the length and style of hair.
Right, sure. So what about it again?
Ugh, your droll lack of enthusiasm boggles the mind. Do you understand just how much I devoted myself to my studies since that day of shame? Also, I might have some vindication?
Okay, wait, look, I know you're a hard worker, but that was just, one of those things. I don't really think you need vindication.
Silence, cretin! Let your jaw hang slack in its moorings as you witness how my magic has evolved!
Whoa! You got me again. Well, at least I'm not sharp and pointy this time.
You most certainly are not. Do you truly think me the type to make the same mistake twice? It has been quite the gauntlet of trial and error, yet finally I have arrived. I stand now on the fresh new ground of magic, the magic of gentle tresses tumbling over one's shoulders.
Say, this does come in nicely at the ends. Some parts longer, some shorter. Whoa, but it's really frizzy. Ah, it's like a bird's nest up in here.
What an exquisite style! What an innovative look! Truly, this is the most striking of spells!
And I guess I have a fluffy beard now? Well, that's certainly something.
Yes, and it makes you appear quite unkempt. Perhaps it is not the look for you.
Hey, don't laugh it off. What am I supposed to do about this mountain man beard, huh? Last time you zapped me, my hair was stiff enough to stab through armor for an entire day. I couldn't even get to sleep because I shredded my pillow. Are you saying I've just got to grin and bear this until it wears off?
At this point, there is nothing else I can do. You can endure this for one day, no? If it helps, I am willing to offer my moral support.
If only this wasn't Fodlan.
And what is so wrong with Fodlan?
Just that a manly beard like this would be considered a real accomplishment in the East. Your magic would be praised to the heavens if you went out that direction.
Then my magic could transcend borders? You finally understand the extent of my talent!
No, it's just that this kind of beard here in Fodlan... Okay, she's not listening.
Linhardt, you skipped the War Council meeting again. If you have any pride at all as a noble, it would behoove you to start acting like one.
I have pride. Some, at least. But speaking of noble comportment, we've both already betrayed the Empire. Is there any need to be overly focused on details?
Your tongue cuts like 1,000 sharpened blades. Nonetheless, I did what was required for survival. My dream of regaining my family status would be forever lost were I to perish, and I cannot permit such a thing to come to pass. All I do is for the sake of House Nouvelle's revival.
That's lovely and all, but
It is not lovely.
as the tale goes, House Nouvelle had passed down the crest of Macule for many generations.
Cease your endless yammering and listen to me.
So I am forced to wonder why it is that you, a legitimate heir to the family, do not possess said crest. What's more, in its place you have the crest of Noah, who was one of the 4 apostles. Has your house stymied and deceived imperial investigations for generations? And if so, how?
If you aren't going to listen to me, I refuse to even entertain answering that question.
Well, I've grown tired of speaking, so we'll have to continue this another time. Good night.
Wait, no, I'll answer you. Just don't treat me like dirt trodden underfoot.
Then, by all means. Perhaps in the course of your explanation, something of use to House Nouvelle's restoration will crop up.
I would like that very much. Well then. To be frank, it is said that Saint Noah is an ancestor of House Nouvelle. The saint feared her crest, already rare even in her time, could prove a source of utter calamity. As such, she forged a magic that tricked crest investigation devices and aided her descendants.
Fascinating. And is there anything else regarding Saint Noah?
Your disdain is palpable. Now, does any of that sound of use to restoring my house or not?
I cannot say. I must hear the rest first.
You realize it would be bothersome in the extreme if I told you everything and none of it was helpful, yes? If you wish to hear more, I must have a guarantee it will provide something I can use.
What a bother. Ah, Constance, I have something I'd like to ask you.
I can't imagine how a dullard like myself would be anything but a bother to one such as you. However, I'm happy to answer anything you need.
Ah, perfect timing, Constance. I'd like to conduct a little experiment regarding the crest of Noah.
If my useless body can somehow help, it is yours. Linhard von Hevering, where are you?
Something wrong, Constance? You seem quite upset.
For crying out loud, there you are. I demand to know why you are always coming to my other side and engaging in all manner of questions and experiments. My secrets are being revealed one after another.
Well, naturally, I prefer to deal with someone who's forthcoming with her answers.
I am always forthcoming.
Actually, I'm finding you a bit troublesome.
Troublesome? What about me is troublesome? Explain yourself at once, you feckless cat of a man.
It's, well, you know.
No, I don't know. I'm answering whatever questions you throw at me, and that is the kind of mealy-mouthed, perfunctory response you deem fit to toss in my direction?
I suppose that's a fair point. But do you really want me to dig into detail on the bothersome parts of your personality?
Well, when you put it that way, it does sound like a discussion that would make me wroth.
Which is why I think the world is better off with my mealy-mouthed response, as you so aptly put it.
In that case, I shall let sleeping hounds lie.
Good. And with that, farewell.
Hold, creature! cretin! My agreeing to drop that particular matter does not also apply to your digging about in my personal affairs via my other mood. We must discuss terms of exchange.
Terms of exchange?
Is it not obvious? My other side is cooperating with your research, so you shall cooperate with mine. There's always demand for new magical experimentation subjects, after all.
And what sort of magic do you mean exactly?
Magic that makes one's eyes emit a dazzling golden light.
For the briefest of moments, I thought this might actually be interesting. Yes, well, all this talking has exhausted me, so perhaps we can take the matter up at a later date?
Oh, I don't mind, but make sure you talk to me as I am now. Understand? At last, we come face to face.
Constance, is something...
Listen here, there's no need to dance around me, for I bear you no ill will.
I am having confusion. What are you speaking of?
I speak of the bad blood between Brigid and the Empire, of course.
Ah, the war. I am having my own feelings about.
Surely you are aware that it was your father who invaded the lands of House Nouvelle, which I once called home. It was his aggressions which cost me my family, my friends, my land, everything. However, your father and many of your countrymen paid for this in the coin of their own lives. Furthermore, neither you nor I took part in that foolish conflict. Therefore, there is no merit to our dredging up the past. We need not be at each other's throats. Have I made myself clear? Good. Now farewell.
Constance has a personality of much color. I was not given a chance to give her my reply. I cannot be leaving things like this. I must be telling her that I have understanding. Constance? I am wanting to talk to you about what you were saying before.
Greetings, Petra. I fear I caused you undue distress. Please accept my humblest apologies for the offense. One from my meager and reduced circumstances has no right to insult a woman of your royal standing. As galling as this must be after the fact, I humbly beg your forgiveness.
You can have my forgiveness, although I was not taking any offense.
Oh, what overflowing kindness! Truly, your mercy is too good for a wretch such as I. But I should not expect aught else from one capable of ruling an entire people. You are a mighty boulder, and I, but a pebble by the wayside.
Let me speak, Constance, please. I am knowing that our relationship is complicated. I think about this every day. It is filling my heart with pain and confusion. But you had the braveness to say what I could not.
Stop, I beg you. You will crush my sad and pathetic frame under the weight of such undeserved compliments. I think it best if I keep my own counsel from now on. Pray pay my ramblings no mind. Oh my, now I have been so presumptuous as to tell you what to do. Please excuse me while I go crawl under a rock.
I am not understanding what happened here. Which Constance should I be believing? Constance, I think I am starting to have more understanding of you. Both parts of you are the true you. The part that cannot be accepting is existing alongside the part that can. These two are always fighting inside you. It is very difficult.
I would venture to say that you have described me most aptly. There is still much about myself I have yet to understand, but the idea that the two parts of me exist in a state of conflict is most intriguing.
Before, you were telling me there was no point in having conflict over the past. You were letting go of the past to be living in the present. Your words were touching my heart.
Yes, I do suppose I may have said something to that effect. How mortifying.
But then you fled before I could be responding. That was showing me that you have difficult feelings for me after all. This is also one part of you battling with the other, I think.
It is entirely possible that such is the case. As I could never hide the truth from you, I must admit I found you somewhat intimidating. Despite my springing the topic on you without warning, you stood strong and listened, and were even gracious enough to discuss it afterward. You dazzled me, and I do not respond well to dazzling. I am weak and pathetic as I am now.
No, that is not weakness. It is balance. The weak part is existing, so the other part can be strong for you. Are you not agreeing?
Why ever would you think that?
Because I am the same. I am also having a weak part. Like you, I am always pretending that the past is not bothering to me. But my father is dead, as are many of my people. This gives me great sorrow, and I am unable to be accepting. The weak part of me is winning. Why is it that I am still living, when so many others had to be dying?
That is a thought that I ponder often myself. For what purpose am I even here? Why is it that I am the only one left to suffer? Is there anything left for me to live for? All I feel is the pain of the people I have lost. But I know now that someone like you, a person as dazzling as the other part of me, also shares that same pain.
Of course.
May I be so bold as to ask what it is that gives you solace?
My brother and sister back home. They are still very small, but thinking of them always provides me with strength. If I am not able to be claiming the throne, they are likely to be killed. Bridget expects me to be a strong queen, a warrior. Only I can be improving our relations with Fodlan. I must be rising to the challenge. Where are you finding your solace?
I take peace in the dream the other part of me still believes in. The dream that one day, House Nouvelle will be restored to its former glory. As unlikely as this seems, I find I am unable to discard it entirely.
Then let us both be taking heart. We will be living and we will be fighting. We are sharing a past of sorrow. But together, we can be overcoming it and walking on towards tomorrow.
You have my deepest thanks, Petra. Alone, I may never have found the courage I need, but with you beside me, there is hope. You were brilliant in the previous battle, Annette.
Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush. It's an honor to be complimented by one of the School of Sorcery's most legendary alumni.
I'm legendary now, am I? Well, I can't say I disagree.
I heard so many stories about you, though I don't know how true any of them are. Like, there's one where you turned a bunch of bossy noble kids into horses, apparently?
Oh, yes! I remember that spell. I titled it, Wherefore Winnies. I was so overjoyed at having completed it that I began using it everywhere, and thus a tiny misunderstanding was born.
I also heard you were smart enough to argue magical theory with the teachers and win.
Ugh, arguing is such a gauche way to put it. But these stories offer only a glimpse into who I am. Such trifling incidents are hardly worthy of the word legendary.
Yeah, but it sounds like at least some of them actually happened, right? I never dreamed I'd be fighting beside as big a legend as you. It honestly makes me kind of nervous.
No need for such modesty. After all, you yourself are among the most talented women in all the kingdom.
Oh gosh, that's high praise. Did a teacher say it, maybe?
No, I merely happened to read that book you wrote during your time there.
Book? Oh, but no. I mean, I'm not even sure I'd call that a book, so... Really, it was more like a collection of memos on how to bake Mercy's treats.
Making magical morsels! Exactly! That book spoke to my very soul. The thought of using magic to simplify complicated cooking tasks was nothing short of revolutionary.
Okay, but how did you get your hands on it? It was supposed to be private. I mean, I did give a teacher permission to present one of the spells, but...
Combining ice and wind magic to make the outside soft while the inside stays crunchy. Oh, remarkable! It created a radical new movement of desserts that were softer, sweeter, and more divine than any which had come before. If you aren't proud of that, you can't be proud of anything. Though it is unfortunate the treats cannot be made without the use of the school's facilities.
Well, it's not that I'm not proud, but it's also not like I wrote it all by myself either. I mean, sure, the magic was me, but Mercy is the one who taught me how to bake in the first place.
Ah, Mercedes. I am well aware that her little delicacies are the finest in all Fodlan.
Like those ones with pockets of sweetened butter mixed into the dough? I would kill for one of those right now.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Is it a new creation? I must ask her to make it for me. Ahem. In any case, I look forward to getting to know you better, Annette. I anticipate many lively theoretical discussions ahead. Are you free at the moment, Annette? I was wondering if you might help me with something.
I sure am. What's up?
Well, I wish to conduct an experiment outside today, though naturally I'm a touch hesitant about it.
Because your mood changes outside, right?
Exactly. And though I'm deeply reluctant to experience that, one cannot make an omelet without throwing a few eggs against the wall.
Well, I think you're a genius regardless, so I'm happy to help. No time like the present, right? Let's do this.
Please stop pulling me along. I haven't even told you what the experiment is yet. Oh dear. Oh dear. Are you certain you want to do this, Annette? I sincerely doubt any magic built upon my crude ideas could ever work.
Oh, it'll be fine. Let's get started.
Well, if you insist, I suppose we must begin this foolish experiment.
Hey, I forgot to ask. What is the experiment anyway?
Oh, just a completely useless spell meant to gather cats from the surrounding area.
Oh gosh, cute! What are you waiting for? Let's get started! The spell seemed to go off all right, but nothing happened.
I knew it. I'm an utter failure. My research papers should be gathered up and used to wipe mud from the hooves of swine. Perhaps this is fate's way of telling me magic is beyond my comprehension and I was a fool to ever try.
Look, moping about it won't help anything. So let's both take a deep breath and figure out what went wrong. Okay, I've got an idea. If we take the flower catalyst and use wind magic to spread the fragrance...
Oh look, it attracts insects. Quick, grab that cockroach before it scurries away. It's clearly a finer sorceress than I.
Ew, gross! But yeah, that didn't work at all. Maybe if we use this mineral instead?
Goodness, the reflective light has attracted the attention of birds.
And they're really mad for some reason. Run, Constance, run!
Whew! I had intended that to be a brief exercise, but it proved to be quite the ordeal.
Sorry that all my tinkering just made things worse. But hey, I did notice one thing. When those insects and birds showed up, there sure were a lot of them.
True. Each attempt did seem to attract a single type of creature in unnaturally vast numbers. Does that indicate that the spell can indeed effectively summon a swarm of one specific species?
It would certainly explain why the flower attracted so many bugs. Ugh. And why the light of the mineral called down such a huge flock of birds.
Why, this is a magnificent discovery! I feel we're on the cusp of breaking new ground!
Maybe it didn't go as planned, but I guess this turned out to be a pretty big success, huh?
There's no time to waste, Annette! We must investigate the cause of this phenomenon at once!
Yeah! I bet you'll create something revolutionary!
So you seek to block my path, do you? Do you challenge me? If so, be warned. None can hope to stand against me in a staring contest. Begin! You are are a gracious loser to accept defeat so readily.
I am hesitant even to ask, but what are you doing?
Ah, if it isn't Lawrence spying on me, Well, if you must know, an insolent feline was blocking my path and challenged me to a staring contest. However, we determined the winner quite readily. Were you witness to my victory?
Were you not once a noble?
I was, yes, and still am so at heart. In the future, you will see me as both the head of House Nouvelle and the world's finest mage!
Then it seems I must adjust my perception of you. I always knew you to be a striking beauty who possesses a keen talent for magic. I was even considering you as a candidate for marriage, should you happen to reform your house. But now, to find you competing with a house cat... I beg your pardon. Pray disregard my words.
The gall required to consider a woman as a mate and subsequently disqualify her in the following sentence is staggering. Staggering, I tell you! You are a coarse, vulgar, indecent boor! And were I ever under consideration for your hand in marriage, I hereby withdraw any and all possible interest! Also, you are the heir to House Gloucester, yes? Why would I ever hope to marry into a house of such meager standing?
How dare you? The magnificent House Gloucester is anything but meager!
I do dare, and have done! And while I know not of your status within Leicester, House Nouvelle is steeped in tradition, with a bloodline closely guarded and unbroken. I find it hard to believe that joining your house is worth uprooting that.
Well now, I can hardly back down from words such as those. We of Gloucester are legitimate descendants of one of the 10 elites and inheritors of a hero's relic. Long have we held a seat at the Alliance Round Table, why we are among the most distinguished houses in the whole of Leicester. We are no less valuable than House Nouvelle, who, may I add, were condemned to extinction by the previous emperor.
It seems our allegations are doomed to never reach a point of agreement.
Then I suppose we have no choice but to compete, that we may determine which of us is superior.
Choose whatever battlefield you wish, Lawrence. I shall ever be the agent of your doom.
I dare say I pulled off quite the impressive strategy in our previous battle. One should expect nothing less of me, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester.
It's a delightful surprise to see you here, sir. What wonderful peals of laughter you have. There is truly none other quite so suited for such splendid displays as yourself.
Constance? Is something the matter?
No, not at all. I just feel awful that someone as wonderful as you must turn their attention on a wretch such as I.
All right, what is the matter here? This is all quite unlike you. You almost always announce yourself to me with an exultant smile and some cutting jibe. This... Oh, now that I think of it, I believe the same thing happened to her before. I thought she might be ill, but perhaps it is not so simple as all that?
I fear my words and actions, totally unsuited as they were to one of my status, have incurred your ire. Please inform me of what my punishment is to be, and I shall humbly accept whatever is to come.
What is this nonsense you speak of, Constance? You yourself said you were a noble woman at heart, did you not?
I must ask you to refrain from taunting me so. I am but a simple commoner now. A mere foolish being whose only calling is to obediently follow any order you give me.
Enough! Return yourself to normal at once. You sought to re-establish House Nouvelle. What has become of your ambition? Your pluck?
That is kind of you to say. It pains me so to deny your gracious words. But it is unthinkable that someone so lowly as I could make real the nonsensical dream of re-establishing House Nouvelle.
Constance, this saddens me greatly. To think you would change so fundamentally once you fell into despair after your dream was shattered. I must do something to help you.
I cannot imagine causing you such a grave inconvenience, sir.
I will hear none of it. I do as I please.
Oh, how kind you are. But your help will not bring me happiness. Though audacious and selfish as this request may be, I ask you simply to watch over me.
It seems I must reevaluate my perception of you yet again. I once said there were things I must settle with you, but now is not the time for competition.
Correct. For no matter what sort of contest I find myself pitted in, you will always emerge victorious.
Well then, though you have rejected me once, pray allow me to say this. Nothing is impossible for Lawrence Hellman Gloucester. So when you decide to continue pursuing your dream and need my assistance, do let me know. Ha ha ha!
Coco, I'm not gonna make it.
Happy? What in the world do you mean? You look rather unsteady all of a sudden.
I'm so sleepy. Why not just end my suffering now?
Can you not pull yourself together? You were the one who volunteered for guard duty in the first place.
I know, but whenever it's just the two of us like this, it reminds me of how things used to be. And then I get all nostalgic and sleepy. Usually I'd be in bed right now, you know?
Well, I cannot deny feeling a little nostalgic myself.
I can't believe we're still together after everything that's happened. When you went back to the Empire, I thought that was it. But look at us now, together again. Wild, right? I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like we're best friends or something.
Have you already forgotten what you once told me? You said that you would be so utterly lonesome without me to keep you company that it would only be a matter of time before you began to sigh. It was necessary that I stay with you in order to avert certain disaster. I had no choice in the matter, you see?
Did I really say all that?
You did indeed. It was the very day we left Abyss, if memory serves.
All right then, fine by me. I wonder what everyone else from Abyss is up to now.
We know Balthus and Yuri are alive and well, and I believe it is likely everyone else is thriving too.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Do you ever wish you could return to those days, back in Abyss?
Me? Nah, not really. Most of the people here don't know about my power. They actually treat me like a normal person.
Indeed.
Plus, you're here. It's like you said, I'd get lonely without my Coco. What about you? Would you be lonely without me?
Well, lonely is not necessarily the word I'd use.
So it's just me then, huh?
Okay, fine. I would be positively despondent without you here.
There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it? I'm glad you finally admitted it.
You knew? Why must you always tease me so?
Come on, you were pretty happy when I volunteered for guard duty, weren't you?
Yes, well, you see, that was because it had already been assigned to me. I merely thought it would be easier to have a partner with whom I was already familiar.
Same here. That's why I volunteered. I knew you'd be my partner, Coco.
I simply cannot win with you.